Today on The Occult Detective, we're going to talk about Normandi Ellis's Awakening Osiris. I have a long history with the Egyptian Book of the Dead. My first edition was the E.A. Wallace Budge translation. I've had this book 40 years or so. Oft referenced. Definitely, I had it with me all through college. I was an anthropology major, so Egyptology was often a focus of lectures and such. And so, when writing research papers, it was this book that I often turned to make correlations and the like. But you get the idea. This is well battered, well read. Another dip into the Book of the Dead was the Coming into the Light, which was Gerald and Betty Schuler's take, the rituals of Egyptian magic. And I would say it's sort of a predecessor to what Normandi Ellis did. This was a poor attempt to modernize and ritualize the Book of the Dead. I love the book, but had some great art pieces in it. This was published by Llewellyn, of course. What year did this come out? Back in 1989. I thought as much. But yeah, so I picked it up as a companion piece to Budge's work. I think that Coming into the Light kind of faltered a bit. That brings me to Normandi Ellis. And this book is just a delightful read. What she has done is taken the Book of the Dead and brought it out of the antiquity section and placed it firmly in metaphysics. She makes it very, very real. She's very passionate in her translation, and she makes it prescient to the modern age, which I think is really impressive. It's beautifully written. The language is just fantastic. I'll read a short passage here. This day I am with you. Stabbed by the light of the great mind I wake. The sun crests the hill, and the hawk, according to a higher will, whirls and circumscribes day. I am called from my house. I shuffle sand underfoot, but my heart leaps. I open, am pierced by light. A cry escapes my lips. I know not what I say. It is the language of soul beneath skin, the song of birds in acacia trees. Like I said, this is poetry that speaks to your inner self, and I could see this as a terrific compliment to Thelema. It's has the sort of language that that goes beyond, the scholarly, dry interpretations that we grown accustomed to. This makes Egyptology, the magic and spirituality of ancient Egypt, present in the here and now. And that's, just a tremendous testament to Ellis's scholarship and her vision. I'll read you a bit from the back. The Egyptian Book of the Dead is one of the oldest and greatest classics of Western spirituality. With Awakening Osiris, Ellis has transformed the ancient stories told through hieroglyphics for modern readers and approaches the Book of the Dead as a profound spiritual text capable of speaking to us today. These writings suggest that the divine realm and the human realm are not altogether separate. They remind us that the natural world, the substance of our lives, is fashioned from the stuff of the gods. This updated edition contains a new introduction and study guide by the author. And that's a wonderful description of what you're going to find in this book. The book is all of that and more. This was published by New Page. It's available now, and I can't recommend it highly enough. If you're interested in ancient Egypt, if you're interested in Thelema, I think you would adore this book. If you're just interested in poetry in and of itself, this is beautifully written. It's deeply passionate and spiritual. It's just well put together. You're not going to find much in the way of illustration or anything like that. But the words paint the pictures, and yeah, it's fantastic. Here's another example. This is from Triumph Through the Cities. Hail, Thal, architect of truth. Give me words of power that I may write the story of my own becoming. I stand before the masters who witnessed the creation, who were with Ra that morning the sun rolled into being, who were with Osiris in the grave as he gathered himself together and burst from the tomb white with heat, a light and shining God. Yeah. Great stuff. Loved the book. Devoured it. It just is everything you could want in a book such as this. And what a lovely illustration of Cyrus, the green god. He's the seed waiting to sprout, right? So Egypt was never my main focus in my studies, but it has always been present, and yeah, it's wonderful. If you're a student of the Golden Dawn, this book's for you. If you're a ceremonial magician of any stripe, this book's for you. And if you're a student of history, yeah, there's a lot to be gained from this. It's just wonderful, just beautifully written, beautiful words, and I think you'll find something in it for you.